Welcome back. On today's deep down drill of articles, we're going to look at two different articles that involve Ripple and the CBDC platform and the potential for massive utility ahead. This particular article comes from Crypto Newsflash and says, breaking, Ripple launches CBDC platform, enabling trillion-dollar central banks to launch own CBDCs with Ripple tech. Will XRP price surge to $20? Well, I don't like to speculate a lot on price because I think that's putting our focus on the wrong thing. Because I think long-term, Ripple and XRP have such potential that I hate to get focused too much on the short term. But we want to focus on the technology and all of the market that they're addressing so that you can see how big the opportunity is and the potential dominance that they have in that huge marketplace. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So the bullet points here are Ripple Labs has launched its latest CBDC platforms for firms and governments, and the platform is modeled in similarity to the XRP Ledger. Now there's some great statistics in here. It says financial technology from Ripple Labs has announced the launch of its central bank digital currency platform where financial institutions, governments, and central banks can mint their stable coins and CBDCs. Now think about that. If you are the platform where they can mint their stable coins and central bank digital currencies for entire countries, that's enormous opportunity. It goes on to say, notably, Ripple has been making several efforts toward driving accessibility for CBDCs as a platform for innovation and also to increase the adoption of national digital currencies. Well, there's about 209 different countries, as I understand it, and Ripple has already been working with about 10 of those. So the future is very bright in terms of how many more countries they have to work with, and it shows you how early we really are in this space. It goes on to say this is a laudable project from Ripple, seeing that many regions are currently in different stages of rolling out a potential CBDC. While some countries are still researching and exploring the possibility of launching, others have started developing theirs. The latest group is for those who have already implemented a CBDC design or a prototype, and this group seems to be the smallest. Considering where all of these countries are in their CBDC journey, Ripple is trying to fit in and ultimately become a solution provider for them. Brooks Entwistle, the Senior Vice President of Customer Success and Managing Director of APAC and MENA at Ripple, mentioned at a certain time that the firm was already in talks with about 20 countries about the implementation of their CBDCs. All right, so that says 20. I thought it was 10. So that's even better. 20 countries, but that's still only 10%, less than 10% of the 209 countries out there. So Ripple CBDC platform leverages same technology as XRPL. The Ripple CBDC platform is modeled as a revised version of the XRPL, which was introduced 2 years ago. Per a published statement, the CBDC platform will leverage the same blockchain technology as the XRP Ledger. Therefore, users will be able to customize and manage the entire life cycle of fiat-based CBDC transactions and distribution. When the Terra Luna and UST stablecoin collapse caused an uproar in the crypto industry in 2022, Ripple noted that it had the capacity to accommodate stablecoins and CBDCs for a ton of people with XRPL. This confidence was fueled by the heightened security, reliability, sustainability, and interoperability that has been built in the XRP Ledger. Also, XRPL has the capacity to accommodate a large volume of transactions with fast processing time and cheaper costs. So we all know that Ripple is faster, cheaper, scalable, etc. But after the Terra Luna debacle, it came in and said, hey, we can do this better, cheaper, more reliably, etc. with the XRP Ledger. Sir Angel Whips Jr., president of the Republic of Palau, expressed how collaboration with the Silicon Valley-based fintech company has helped the country remain relevant in terms of financial innovation. Partnering with Ripple to help create our national digital currency is part of our commitment to lead in financial innovation and technologies, which will provide the citizens of Palau with greater financial access, he said. Yeah, so Palau is in US dollars, and so this is a way also for Ripple to be testing a US kind of proxy for the US dollar. Ripple Labs and the Republic of Palau had a similar partnership in 2021 when they both developed the United States dollar-backed climate-friendly stablecoin. During that time, Palau leveraged the XRP Ledger for several use cases, including as a corporate registry. Ripple's collaboration with Palau at the time meant the implementation of the world's first government-backed national stablecoin in the first half of 2022. Ripple's responsibility included providing Palau with technical, business, design, and policy support. So I'm not sure exactly what they mean about a corporate registry. Sounds like you're registering a lot of corporations, but they're talking about Palau, so I'm not really sure all of that. But it is really exciting that Ripple and Palau were implementing the world's first government-backed national stablecoin. Pretty exciting. With the utility coming to Ripple that is bound to benefit XRP, we can expect the coin's price to shoot up in the long term. That the coin will touch $20 is not impossible, but may take a while to achieve this milestone. End of article. Well, again, I don't really like to speculate on the when or the what price, but I have no doubt that it will get there. Let's just say that, in my opinion. All right, so this article is from Retail Banker International. It says CBDC payments will reach $213 billion in 2030, according to Juniper Research, which is a statistic that we already reviewed. But I just want to, again, tie this together, that we have Ripple with the first CBDC stablecoin. We have Palau kicking that off as a proxy for the US dollar because it does operate in US dollars, so they can test and do things with a smaller country to kind of ease into this whole thing and test everything on the XRP Ledger. And we know that the size of the market is tremendous. $213 billion by 2030, which I think is extremely conservative. And we've talked about how that's a 260,000% growth rate in the next decade and will be the result of governments seeking to adopt CBDCs to boost financial inclusion and compete against cryptocurrencies. Juniper Research, their study states that by 2030, 92% of the total value transacted via digital currencies will be paid domestically. So 92% is going to be just domestically with payments and that kind of thing within your own country. So it's not that we're looking at this huge cross-border situation necessarily, but within our own country, 92% of total transactions are going to be using digital currencies. According to the research, cross-border payments will come later as more countries will implement their own CBDC versions. Yeah, and this is in fact Brad Garlinghouse, something he said. He said the same thing. He said that countries will use their CBDC internally, and then later cross-border payments will become a bigger thing using cryptocurrency. Nick Maynard, author of the report, said, while cross-border payments currently have high costs and slow transaction speeds, this area is not the focus of CBDC development. As CBDC adoption will be very country-specific, it will be incumbent on cross-border payment networks to link schemes together, allowing the wider payments industry to benefit from CBDCs. What is CBDC? Central bank digital currency is a digital coin issued by a central bank and pegged to the country's fiat currency. CBDC is not a cryptocurrency whose value is determined by market supply and demand. So that's very interesting. They make the point of saying it is pegged to the country's fiat currency. On February 7th, the Bank of England initiated a formal consultation on potentially launching a digital pound called Bitcoin. In a similar move on March 3rd, Commonwealth Bank, ANZ, and MasterCard joined the Reserve Bank of Australia in launching a CBDC pilot in the country. The pilot project assesses how economically viable a digital currency would be. In an interview with Retail Banker International, Julia Demidova from fintech company FIS said digital currencies will be a significant source of innovation. According to Demidova, central banks are looking to stay ahead of the latest trends. These trends include the evolution of real-time payments and the growing role of digital assets, including CBDCs. However, Juniper Research says a lack of commercial product development around CBDCs will limit their utility on the current market. This includes a limited number of well-defined platforms for central banks to leverage. To date, only 11 countries have launched their own CBDC, according to Atlantic Council. Nigeria is the largest country with an active central bank digital currency. The rest of them are small island states in the Caribbean region. End of article. So we have 11 in this article, 20 in the other article. That's showing a good increase and a lot of other countries coming on board. I think we're going to see this pick up steam and speed over time. And it'll be interesting to see if this ties into the BRICS narrative about Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and those countries who are moving away from the dollar and doing their own thing, their own trade, etc. We'll see if that ties in somehow with this in the future. But for right now, this is a huge market for Ripple, an incredible opportunity for XRP, and I think something to be really excited about, that we are in the dominant space and the dominant movers in that space. And that to me says we have a very bright future ahead. And not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. Throughout this whole entire decade, it's going to get very exciting, in my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed those articles today. I'm going to continue my crypto drill downs and in video form. That's on my YouTube channel. Also, I have my financial podcast 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Apple Podcasts, also on my YouTube channel or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And also my Instagram page, which has wealth tips on a daily basis over at instagram.com/Linda P. Jones. Follow me there. And also follow me on Twitter at Linda P. Jones. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.